On to step number 85. Pretty mundane stuff that we've done before, just different parts. We're going to go ahead and put nuts into these two holes on the back of our clutch carrier. This is the stock clutch carrier. We'll use our little insert tool. Press them in. And then we're going to take our stock clutch bearings. If you're using the stock ones, go ahead and install those. If you're using the Team FastEddy bearings, go ahead and swap them out. Again, the Team FastEddy bearings are optional. And these should hand press right in. You can press it down on the table to get it in a little further if you want. And you know what, this one's looking a little bit lopsided in there. You can see it's sticking up a little bit more there than it is on the other side. So let's put the one in the rear and drag out our bearing press. Make sure that we get them in straight. This is clutch carriers are extremely important. It is usually one of the first parts, if it's not working properly, to give out and cause a lot of extra damage. And what happens is if your clutch, something is wrong in your system, your clutch bearings, which are in this unit right here, are generally the first thing that are going to show by wearing out. And when then they wear out, whoa, a little tight there. Good thing that that's our last bearing, because we just broke our press. Remember I set that to max? That was, I'm going to set it back to 7, which is my normal setting. That's how we learn. But generally what will happen is that you'll gain heat throughout your clutch system, and ooh, now I got that little part stuck in there. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out. The problems I caused myself. There we go. Your clutch carrier or your bearing will heat up, and then at that point what will happen is it will start to get hot. Of course, it's heating up, and it's going to go out. And at that point it starts to heat up the carrier, which is made of plastic, and it warps. And then from there, your spur gear will usually start to wear out before anything. So you definitely do want to always keep an eye on your clutch carrier. Alrighty, get this stuff out of the way. We have one more to put in on this little holder here. And that completes step number 85. Now we're going to move on and get our parts out for step number 86 and install the clutch carrier and the bell onto the clutch system. For step number 68, the first thing that we're going to do is to insert the clutch bell into the clutch carrier. And that's going to go in from the rear. You can see that the legs stand up on that. We're going to drop the post of the bell down through the bearings, and it should look like this on the end. The end does not come all the way out. You can see in there it's just a little bit recessed, and that's the way that it should be. Take a look at our bell. Make sure that it is somewhat free spinning. If it isn't, double check your bearings and make sure that they're pressed in straight. Now that that's done, we're going to take our engine and position let's back up here. Let's go ahead and insert what I call the little top hats, and they are a metal unit that helps strengthen the bolt areas on the clutch bell holder. And those are going to slip right in here. There is a total of 3 of them. As we hold this up, you'll take a look in the directions. As we hold this up, like so, we're going to use 2 of them. And with this like this, we're not going to put one in the top, but we're going to put one here. And we are going to put another one on the bottom, leaving the top one empty. At this point, take the engine, just like you see it. We can rotate it up so it's sitting flat. And we're going to take this and drop it down and put the bell over the clutch. And we're going to position the unit just as you see here. So there is no leg on the upper left corner. Now we're going to put in 2 screws on the bottom holes. We are going to use Loctite on them. And again, I've just put a little bit on my bench here. Place the 2 screws in place with some Loctite. Tighten them up. We're going to want to give these a little bit of extra love. Make sure they're on nice and tight. Torque them down good. And then we're going to move on to our next bracket, which is this unit. We're going to place one of our little top hats in there, just like we did on the clutch holder. And this one is going to sit in this 4th hole here. And the way that it is positioned is down, just like so. You can see that there's a little curvature in here. And that little curvature is the same as the curvature right here. So that's how we know it's set into the right place. Let's put some Loctite on our bolt. Go ahead and tighten this one up. When you tighten this one up, you're going to want to make sure that it is resting against the back of the housing here. You don't want it, see if I can turn this, you don't want it cocked up like that. You see how that's up? You're going to want it down so that it's resting against the housing. Once that's on, go ahead and tighten it up. Give it some extra love. And I believe that that is it for step number 86. At this point, we're going to go ahead and get all of the stuff out for step number 87. And we're going to start mounting the engine into the Baja. You can see what it looks like here. You're going to want to make sure that your clutch bell turns and spins without being bound up. Okay, on to the next step.